All right, welcome back to another Paper Straw podcast, and today we're back for another installment of what I found on streaming. And as always, with me are Christian and Ryan.
Hey guys.
What's up?
All right, fellas. First, I want to do a callback to the last episode where we talked about the Little Mermaid, and Ryan asked me, like, will you watch it?
The Little Mermaid. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did. And it's not bad. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think fucking what's her face? Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay. She was the octopus woman.
Yeah, she killed it with Ursula.
Yeah, Ursula.
I was like, all right. The King Triton was, I guess he was all right. Because, like, the next night I watched the newest one, or not the newest one, the original one.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard to watch for a couple reasons. Like, the new one puts a lot more detail, right? Like, the story's a lot better told, I think.
Yeah.
Not to mention, 90s animation is fucking trash.
I disagree.
Depends which one.
I did not like it.
Depends which one you're watching.
Maybe not for specifically like Little Mermaid or any Disney property, but yeah.
It was a little shoddy, to say the least. That's okay. I won't say trash, but it was kind of. I mean, but that's just being 30 years removed from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was. I liked old girl as the mermaid.
She was hired for her singing prowess, I feel like, more than her acting prowess, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
it kind of looks like a fish a little bit. I felt like a little bit.
Said she looks like a fish.
A little bit, yeah. I was like, this is believable as a mermaid.
Yeah, probably because her hair is actually CGI'd. So
is it?
It is actually. There are behind the scenes where she's actually wearing a green cap.
Interesting.
So they had to simulate
makes sense.
the movement of hair underwater. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was watching it with somebody.
What made you want to?
Just, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Like, what's all the hubbub about, right? Like, what's the deal?
yeah, it's the same thing with me. I watched it out of curiosity of why people are actually judging it this way. Like, I want to judge the film fairly, and I can't actually give my 2 cents without actually watching it myself.
Right. And some people were complaining about Flounder, what they did to Flounder. Making it look like a fish? Like, I don't understand.
I don't remember even who Flounder is.
It's a little fish.
I remember the crab.
And then I think that's the problem was with the crab because they made the wrong type of crab that shouldn't have been in the ocean.
Of course they did.
They got the crab wrong. So,
but I mean, it is a fairy tale. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're passing this off as a, biopic or something. Like, this shit didn't really happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not Jamaican.
Yeah.
There's not crabs with Jamaican accents. There's not, I did kind of appreciate the updating of, not so sure it makes a difference whether the bird Scuttle, and I know these things because I just watched this, so it's not like I'm a huge fan or anything, but the bird, I guess he's a what do they call those water pigeons? What are they called? Those seagulls? He's a seagull, right?
Oh, seagull, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen Little Mermaid in thousands of years, I feel like. I haven't watched, you know what I mean? I don't know. I never liked the property personally. Big Lion King guy. I never Little Mermaid.
But yeah, it's just one of those things, like you know. But the pigeon, or what is it? The seagull had a like a like a song or something, like a rap song.
Yeah, that
What?
Yeah, it was
that
pretty good.
you like.
No,
Yeah, it was. I promise you,
Really?
it was pretty good.
You're the first one I
no.
actually heard that liked it.
I like the flow and I like the wordplay. It was pretty good. It sounded a lot like Migos, but I mean, it was nice, dude. I was like, all right, and it went
Do
for
you
a.
know who? Wait, let's see. Seagull and do you know who played him?
Please don't
It's,
tell me this is Aquafina.
it's a girl that played
Oh Jesus Christ! You
Oh, is
like
it
that?
actor?
New Scuttle. Who is this? Who
I'm
is
just kidding. Oh, it's Awkwafina.
It is Awkwafina.
You're the first one I actually ever heard that liked that song.
I liked it, but again,
I mean,
I'm a
she
huge
can
hip
be
hop fan.
funny. She's funny sometimes. I liked her show on HBO. Awkwafina is an acquired taste, I feel like.
No, she is
And
funny,
just
but
like on the
for
merits
this
of her
song,
acting and stuff. What?
she is funny, but for this song, for me, it wasn't actually that good.
I liked it.
I haven't heard it. So I
And more
don't
power to you for liking it because you're the first one that loved it.
What is the name of the song? It's called the Scuttlebutt, I think. Should I play this? Copyright.
Copyright, and just don't. But it is kind of weird that you guys never actually gravitated to the Little Mermaid because I think the target market for this one, since it's actually the first movie of the Disney Renaissance, so I believe the target for the Little Mermaid is actually little girls, not
Oh yeah.
actually
Oh,
in
for sure.
general kids.
But you saw kind of the hype and the actress kind of played into that hype a little bit with, being a good representation. Like I don't want, I'm trying to tread lightly here, but being representation for young black women, it was like relatively powerful for her and powerful for them, right? For her to be in that type of spotlight. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
when
mean,
Chris actually told me that he actually watched it, like he did love it. And the same for me. I kind of liked it. There's nothing wrong with it as a film,
it's
but
good.
every changes that they made actually felt for me that even if they didn't change anything, like for the sake of diversity, it wouldn't have mattered much to me. Like to me, it's still the same
and
film.
that's the thing. I don't think, a lot of people do have that complaint, like, oh, why are they doing that? But I don't think Disney, again, going back to what I said earlier, I don't think Disney did that on purpose. They did it because she's a great singer. Like that's literally why she was hired, because she's a good singer and she had a great fit for the role, just for her voice and for her general cadence, probably even what do you call it, chemistry with the male actor probably went into that too, so people want to say like, oh, it's all about but it probably had nothing to do with that. Trust me, there's a lot more that goes into that kind of stuff.
I'm
um
sure it's yeah, I agree with you, Ryan, 100%. And I imagine working with, like you always see like these green screen actors, right? Like, how they did Rocket in, Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah,
Like it takes a special talent to
yeah.
interact with a green styrofoam ball and be believable. And she
And you
had to
say
do that
that
a
funny,
lot.
something similar happened in a recent Ahsoka episode where like a lot of people were complaining about one of the actresses, Natasha Lee Bordizzo. She plays Sabine Wren. And similarly, there's a scene where she is essentially just talking to like puppets and CGI, and you can see it takes a lot, like even just like tiny little cues and like your facial expressions, reacting to and like looking at the eyes specifically, right? Like if it's a creature or something like that, making sure to look at the eyes, like wherever the eyes might be on it, stuff like that, like taking all that into account. It's a lot. And you got to admit, like it's gotta look stupid on set, right? You're just sitting there talking to nothing, or maybe a puppet or something, or stand-in
And
of some kind. Yeah.
you have to consider that this is Star Wars. It's always been the eternal debate of using practical versus CGI for this franchise, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I don't know if I told y'all, but I did tell y'all in the last one. Like I did the first 3 episodes or whatever, and I
Of
think I
what?
of Star Wars.
Of
And
Ahsoka?
no, I did the first episode of Ahsoka.
Oh, okay.
You like it?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right.
I mean, are you a big Star Wars fan?
I Star Wars. No,
Yeah.
the world that comes with that was created as a byproduct of that, I really enjoyed. The Mandalorian, I really like that. I don't know if it's futuristic or if it's lateral or if it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's in the future, but then the Mandalorian is like a fucking gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? So
It's
there's
actually technically, we want to be super technical with it. It's all happening in the past, right? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
oh, fair enough. Yeah, okay, all right, right.
If we're going to be technical about it,
I just
though, that's just
I never thought about because I know that from the first episode or the first A New Hope or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Uh, and so, but I didn't watch it when it came out, so I watched it 30 years later. So the scroll is like, yeah, this shit happened in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Star Wars has come a long way from just being a ripoff of the Bible, right?
Oh, it's a ripoff of a ton of different stuff. Dune, Lord of the Rings. Star Wars is a combination of a lot of it. Kurosawa, old like samurai films, westerns. Like, yeah, it's Star Wars is technically just a ripoff of a ton of George Lucas's favorite shit, which is cool, which makes it cool. Like,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It is.
But I mean, that it's a story. Like, there's not that many different stories to tell, right? I mean, premises,
Yeah.
right? No, it's either good versus evil. The guy gets the girl.
Yep.
Those stories. It's the same stories, just told over and over and over. Anyway.
Yep. Yep. The cycle.
Yeah. But so yeah, so Star Wars is a long ass time ago, which is
Well, what'd you think of the first episode? Because I will say Ahsoka's for like the hardcore Star Wars. I would say, like, I feel like for the most part, no one's really gonna watch or get a lot of Ahsoka if they're not super into it. Star Wars, that is. Like, you know what I mean?
well, I'll tell you this. The first episode didn't pull me in like the first episode of The Mandalorian did.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for the fact that it's I'm not saying this is like you, but like it's an essentially like an all-female cast to a degree.
Right.
You have to like kind of follow an all-female cast, and that's a lot to ask for some people.
You don't have a deep-rooted love for the entire franchise, right? Like I'm a newbie,
a lot of this stuff is digging into like super deep cut like force stuff, like force lore and stuff that like general audiences aren't going to give a shit about, like they don't give a shit about that. But yeah, and like you also have the sequels like on the horizon, so other people like you have like sequel fans who like just don't give a shit, they just have the sequels and that's their shit. So I don't know.
And I think I'm the reverse of you, Chris. Like I'm into the lore before I actually stop watching it. And if I want to get back into Star Wars, it's gonna be like homework for me because I want to do it properly, like consume everything. So I have to plan how I'm gonna consume that content, and it's gonna feel like homework when I get back to it.
Just Chris, there's two shows. So the showrunner for Ahsoka, he made two shows relatively far back. So Clone Wars and Rebels are two shows that he made with help from Dave Filoni or with help from George Lucas. Initially, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, he stayed on and did, I think, Rebels. They contracted him to do Rebels around 2014, I think. So yeah, there are two like cartoons and they're very like childish.
Is what's jarring about Star Wars is it uses different types of mediums when it's actually storytelling. Like Ahsoka is actually live action, but the prequels for you to actually be fully immersed in it are actually in animation. If you're not down with animation, you're gonna have a hard time chewing through the scenery just to get to Ahsoka.
And not just that, I mean, again, like I was saying, it's like tailor, like especially Rebels is like tailor made for kids.
Yeah,
So the writing, the acting, it's all very much like like for kids. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not like hardcore. It's not gritty. It's not like dark. I mean, it gets dark, but not
not to
not
the
like
point
how
of
you would want.
mature dark, like what
Yeah.
they're trying to do with the live action now.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I'll try to plow through that one as
I think it's like now at least for general audiences, as of episode like 5 and 6, it's gonna get like relatively good. It's starting to heat up. I know that's like not saying much, right? But
Well, I mean, yeah, it's that's like for me, man. It's I always tell myself like whenever I'm starting a new series or whatever, it's like, all right, get through the first couple episodes, all right?
yeah, it's always 3, at least for
Yeah.
me, right? Even if it's like a short, you know, show, like 3 episodes, it's like I feel like the best benchmark. And if you're not into it, you're probably or into the characters or any of that, like you're just not gonna get into it.
Like, did
Yeah.
you watch Ozark?
I actually, funny enough, yeah, it's another show that I watched like 3 episodes and I was like, this show's awesome, but I'm just not gonna get into it. I feel like it's
Bro,
just kind of a I
I
don't
think
know. I just couldn't get into it because
I
it
think
felt
I
too much
did.
like Breaking Bad to me, and I was like, if I want Breaking Bad, I'll just go watch Breaking Bad.
I did a very large chunk of that shit, like very large, and I got tired of it. Like I
Of
didn't
the actor, what's his name? Forget his name. Of the
Bateman.
actor, or like,
Yeah,
yeah,
just kind of the. I felt like the story wasn't progressing. Like it was like I was. It's like you're in a maze or something. It's like, oh, you're going this way.
yeah,
It's like I could never see like it was just twists and turns and no real progression. I felt like.
yeah,
Like, I don't want
yeah.
to watch another episode of this
Like the
thing.
writers are kind of messing with you a little bit. That's yeah,
It's like they've taken every possible angle they can take,
yeah.
and I don't know how many. I watched a lot of that shit, and it just got to where like when it was time for me, when I had my free time to watch, I was like, I don't want to
Eh.
watch this. Like,
Fucking, it's weird with shows. I started watching the Apple Plus show called Hijack with Idris Elba. I got
okay,
like maybe 6 or 7 episodes in, and I haven't like tapped back in. Just because like just like it seems like a cool thing, but like you said, like all these twists and shit. It's like let's just get to the let's get to the cool shit, right? Let's get to the it's literally just a plane being hijacked by a couple guys, but like obviously there's mystery behind it and shit. So and Idris Elba makes the show all the more sicker, but yeah, it's hard to get into shows. At least for me, it's hard to get into shows and like stick with them.
me too. It's got to be
I don't know why,
something.
unless I'm like
Last of Us.
super invested.
Last of Us,
Yeah,
I was like looking forward to the next episode. Like, oh shit, I can't.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but I guess that's kind of
yeah,
also maybe the thrill that maybe we have ignored, or maybe it's a thing of the past where like because binge watching is so common.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
plow through 8 episodes, it's like I don't want to watch this shit. Well, yeah, you foundered on the
Not
fucking
even
story.
that. It's more to the social media thing. Like we're always on social media. Like we're watching YouTube or watching even TikTok for some people. Like our attention spans are so fucked now because
Mm,
of it. You know,
yeah,
um, it's hard to keep invested in stuff with
The
all this shit
opinions
going
on
on around
the
us.
opinion of social media actually affects your viewing habit. Like
Yeah,
if you see certain
especially
points
TikTok.
where yeah, if you see certain points where people actually are pointing out that there are negatives to this type of series, you might find yourself being a victim of it while watching it and actually expecting
yeah,
you to actually feel that way during your watching of it.
yeah. It's
That's
you.
why for the boys, I actually never read anything about it. Like I went into
Yeah.
it blind, so I actually completely enjoyed the how many seasons is The Boys now? 3?
4 or
So it,
5, 4. They're coming up on their fourth, I think.
I
Yeah.
think like you were talking about, Ryan, with the 3 episode rule, right? Like at least three
Yeah.
episodes. Fucking The Boys smashed it first episode. When he was just standing there holding the old girl's arms, it's like, oh, this shit wild. Like I
Yeah.
was hooked, like immediately. The first
Yep.
3-4 minutes was like, who the fuck is this dude?
Very similar to Invincible too, right? Invincible, it's another like animation type thing. It's like superhero, and it's a lot like The Boys, where it's like raunchy almost. It's very raunchy, and
Another one I
the
got.
first
this trait
episode,
was
same thing.
never in
Like they
their
attack the White
vocabulary
House or
when they
something
made.
like that. It's like it's pretty hype, you know. It's like really gets you into it, and you meet all these like wacky characters, and yeah, if you haven't seen Invincible, I recommend
It was
it.
good.
So
I
you
like
might
it.
like
You
it.
have
I
to
don't
see
know.
it, right?
If you like The Boys, if you like The Boys, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Oh,
What'd you
It's
say?
brutal.
It's about the boy, right? Like it's like about kind of about a second generation superhero game, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Dragon Ball Z. Like he's his father is sort of an alien, I guess.
Right. Superman,
You gotta
basically.
watch. You gotta watch
Basically a
soon.
legacy of Superman, if you think about it. Basically the
Yeah,
son.
Dragon Ball Z, Superman.
Yeah.
It's
Again, the same story,
good. Yeah.
different
No,
fucking.
no, no, no. It's not. Not. It's just like I guess the general. I don't know. It's not like those. It's just his general backstory. He's an alien. He's an alien, and they have superpowers and shit.
By the
Good.
way, Chris, you did mention you watched another movie.
Yeah,
And
I watched this. Again, I do this while I'm working. To just have like background noise.
Yeah.
Normally, it doesn't really matter, but usually, if I'm not into it, like I'll pause it or mute it or whatever. But I did this the other day, last what is today? Friday. I guess this weekend maybe, or Monday or Tuesday or something. I turned on a Pixar movie called Elemental, and
yeah,
it's
I've
warning
heard of this. Is
people,
it a new one?
we'll be
That
talking
new
about
thing?
spoilers here because
oh yeah,
this movie is fairly new.
I've
yes,
heard this is relatively good.
I liked it. Christian watched it.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. And it's actually I watched it out of curiosity because I haven't heard that many good things about it. If you look online,
Really?
yeah, probably because of spillover the backlash from the Lightyear, the last one they did, right?
Yeah.
So it has good visuals. I'll give it that. Like the use of the creativity with the use of the interaction, the elements like fire, water, wind. It's actually on point. The
Earth.
problem with this film is the dialogue.
Well, it's for kids.
Yeah.
The theme isn't.
Well,
Everything about this, if this was for kids, it would go over their heads because this is basically just the West Side Story in
And you can say
Pixar
the same thing
form.
about Cars, right?
yeah.
Like Cars is for kids, but there's a ton of shit in Cars that like will go over kids' heads.
Well, look at
Trying to think of something similar.
a
But this is
perfect
the main theme
example.
of this is actually basically romance, so it will really go over kids' heads.
A perfect example of that is Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Like
Or any of those Lego movies. Honestly, any of those Lego movies are
those things make
have a
me
ton of
laugh.
that type of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this shit's is funny.
Anything with Will Ferrell, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's his name that did the voice of Arnett? Will Arnett.
Will Arnett, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
He's
killed it.
awesome.
But yeah, Elemental, man. It's really undertones of early racism.
What?
Yeah, I'm glad
Wait,
you
what?
mentioned that. I'm
Yeah,
I'm gonna I really want to ask this question to you guys, especially you, Chris, because you watch this. Do you think this is a reflection of the Irish community in the US?
I took it as a Hispanic community.
I feel like it
What?
was the Hispanic community, but it feels like more the setting of New York.
Ryan's like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about?
Now you're
Like
interested.
they're immigrants first. Yeah, now yeah, they're immigrants first, right? And they're moving to the new world or whatever, right? And so you have water and earth and wind, all the elements, right? They're all what are they called? What's it called when you like turn it into people? You not personified.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, personification.
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
yeah, that one, yeah. And so, but because they're fire, like it's not because they're different, it's because they're dangerous, right? Like so they're trying to like when the old guy and the girl get there, they speak a different language. And they're like, "What's your name?" And he was like, or whatever they say. And they was like, "How about we just call you whatever they gave him, Bernie?" And
Yeah, that's just pretty straight up racism. Like just because they can't actually pronounce their name. Like
yeah,
if they're
like,
Italian, they can't pronounce their name, then they started to say, "Oh, I'm just gonna call you Mario Luigi." So
yeah, we're just going to change. I don't know what you're saying. We're just going to change your name. So that was the first one. I was like, all right, this is maybe historically somewhat accurate, right? And then so they're going to try to find like these places to rent, but because they're fired, like one landlord opens the door and he was like, dry leaves, sorry, like they can't rent here. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't able to like rent anywhere. So he had to find like this old rundown house. I don't know if it's a bill. I don't know what the hell it was, but he built it up, and then you can see that the community around them starts to grow, kind of like what you would imagine a Cuban community or any immigrant community, how they kind of grow together.
best example
Yeah.
would be Chinatown, I guess.
Chinatown, there's a lot of it, right? It happens,
Yeah.
and it's all the fire people live in this one area.
Okay.
Yeah, but
This movie sounds dumb as hell, dude.
it does, but it's not.
There are
It's
a lot of racial undertones to it.
There's a lot of racism undertones, and it's Pixar. It's 2023, of course. I'm just glad she's not gay. Well, not glad.
Yeah.
Not glad she's not gay. It's just nice that a character's not gay for
Yeah, no,
once.
I hear you.
Like we're gonna be playing the diversity bingo with this one. I think that wasn't on the card. I've been waiting for it. Wasn't there.
But yeah, I mean, of course, there's. I hate to go conspiracy this early in the podcast, but there's an agenda, right? There always is, and this one is the elements. Everything's racist. Even the elements are racist. Like the fire the fire's girl the fire girl's parents don't want her to date the water dude, right? Because he's not one of them. Which can
Okay.
go which can go into a million different, it could be, Hispanic, or I know the Jewish community is very strict about, who marries into the family, right? This
Are you
happens.
saying the different elements are potentially based on races?
Well, I didn't look at all the elements as races. I only looked at fire as being maybe Hispanic.
But definitely the fire elements, I think, pretty much symbolize first generation immigrants in
Oh,
the country.
for sure, yeah. Whether no matter the race, they are first generation immigrants.
And the interaction of the other elements regarding them, they're much more aloof when it comes to fire because it is harmful to the majority of them.
I mean, yeah,
The reactions that fire has with water,
and
with wood.
I guess the water people are probably white.
You guess right.
They're super
What?
they're super sensitive. Like they cry about everything. Like just
They have
water.
crying sessions.
This
You
movie
know,
sounds pretty bad.
it's got a pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's if you're just looking for something to kill an hour and a half while you're working, then
It's easy to kind of get lost in.
yeah. Well,
Um,
easy to get lost, easy to tune out and then tune back in, and you haven't missed anything really.
yeah.
I have to commend the animators for this one. This movie is actually visually stunning. Like the animation is on point, and the tracking shots. Like there are certain scenes here. There's one scene where they went through a tiny crack in the wall. Remember that, Chris? Where fire was actually chasing. What's the name of the fire chick? Ember, right?
Yeah.
where he was actually chasing the water inspector. He was an inspector, right, for
He's
the
a water
city.
inspector, yeah.
So
Yeah, they did really good with the names. Like he's water. His name is Wade Ripple. I thought that was pretty clever.
That's funny. All right, I'll take that. I'll
Yeah, yeah.
take that.
and I think
Yeah.
this is the rarity of Pixar actually not using marquee actors as voices. These are all voice actors. I
Well,
think
I don't
that,
know.
that's a plus.
Hmm.
I can't remember when was the last time they actually did that without actually Hollywood actors
Like to
help.
beef up, yeah.
And I think it was really apropos that the director is actually Peter's son. I think that's the name. The same dude who actually did the short Partly Cloudy for Pixar. I don't know if you remember that one, where it's a cloud giving birth to different baby animals and the stork has to deliver them. And all of the animals that this one cloud is making is actually dangerous animals like sharks, porcupines, and the stork is getting injured.
I don't remember this.
You don't remember that one. For the audience, if anyone can actually remember that short.
Okay, so let's see.
Well, I wanted to
Interestingly,
see if have either of you seen the Mario movie?
I want to watch that so bad.
Haven't
I'm
yet.
I'm the exact opposite. My
I'm
friends keep
holding
telling me I
off.
should see it, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to fucking see it.
Really?
Yeah, fuck Mario. Fuck Nintendo. I
Damn!
said it. I said
What the hell happened to you?
it.
So, are you getting a kick out of the Mortal Kombat that went to Switch that looks like fucking Atari?
What's that? Uh-uh.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. What is it? 11? Mortal Kombat 11 or Mortal Kombat 1 maybe.
One, they
Oh,
did a
oh
recent.
yeah. I mean, that Harry Potter game that came out earlier this year is also coming to Switch, and it can't run well. It's not going to run well. You know what I mean? This is
Right.
funny. The Switch is such a it's crazy to me that it's I mean it's easy to sell that thing, but it sells so much. Yeah, I'm hoping they update it soon, but still, fuck Nintendo. But I was curious, like, so you're hyped for it? You're actually hyped to
I
watch
just
it? That's crazy. But you haven't seen
uh
it yet.
no, I haven't. I watched the original movie with John Leguizamo and
Uh-huh.
uh what's his face from the 90s, I guess. And even then, even though it was so different from the game, just it was just fun. And now
Yeah.
this one is like basically the game, but even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with this. If I can compare this, I haven't watched Super Mario yet, so I'm just judging it based on my feeling with the last animation that I actually watched, which is Elemental. I might prefer Elemental more because I'm gonna have a standard when it comes to watching Super Mario.
Oh, yeah. I can hear you there. I can hear you.
Because
See, I don't have any connection to
it's a big
Mario per
name
se.
brand. So
Did both of you play Mario games in the past? Is that why? Like,
yeah, of
yeah.
course.
That
Like
was, I think, uh, Mario was my introduction to video games.
That doesn't
mine
surprise
was
me.
mine was
My
Contra,
my
not
For a
Mario.
lot
babysitter,
of people.
my
A
babysitter
lot
had
of people, if you think about it, their first game was Mario, or I mean, for me, probably Pokemon, honestly. Maybe.
my babysitter had a regular Nintendo, and they would sit and play Mario Brothers 1.
Damn.
Yeah, that was my introduction, and then like uh, they talked my mom into it. I don't know who. I was so young, but I ended up getting a Nintendo, and then yeah, I had one and Mario. I did not have Mario Brothers 2. My neighbor had Mario Brothers 2, and then I bought Mario Brothers 3. And then I
Hmm.
graduated to the 64 and had Mario 64. So yeah, Mario was a big part of my gaming. Um, I
Youth.
don't know. Yeah, it says here that it's going to be the movie's going to be on Peacock on August 3rd, September, August. Oh shit, that was last month.
What movie is this?
Mario.
Oh, oh.
and that it'll go to Netflix in the United States on December 3rd.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
But-
watch it. I think I'm avoiding everything regarding that movie for the time being.
But it says you can watch it now on YouTube for about, what is this? About
$20.
$5.
5?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Watch now for
Can they
Five
actually do that? Like just stream it on YouTube ahead of the
Well,
other
yeah,
streaming
YouTube has
platforms?
rental.
right
YouTube
there.
has movie rentals.
Like, this shit's old. Yeah.
I've watched movies before on YouTube.
Yeah.
They have movie rentals and stuff.
They have a lot. I mean, they're still selling shit on YouTube that's already on streaming. It's like, come on, man. Like the Barbie
Yeah.
movie.
You would think other streaming platforms would be against this shit, right?
You would think, but
When they actually sell their license for their movies, like you're not gonna be streaming that on YouTube 6 months ahead of us, right? For a
like
fee
the
of
Flash is on there.
$5.
Warcraft, Sing, that's old as hell. The Emoji movie, Jesus Christ. There's a Lego movie. Yeah, there's so many things on here.
Yeah, going back to the elemental thing, Chris. I don't know how many Pixar movies you've watched, but up to what level can you compare this one to? Of the ones that you did watch, is it in the level of Toy Story?
No.
Definitely not, right?
Toy Story is iconic. I don't think it's fair to really compare Toy Story. No. But I mean, for as far as like source material, like how interesting can you make the elements? You know what I mean? Like,
This reminds me
Earth, Wind,
more
and
like
Fire did it pretty well.
what
It was a
that?
joke. Because Earth, Wind, and Fire did it pretty well.
Oh yeah, they stuck around for a while. But again, it's just a
best
love
band
story.
ever. Yeah, I feel this is more like I don't know if you watch Inside Out.
No.
No.
Yes, I think.
It's based on emotions, right? There's anger, joy, sadness.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
Like this, for me, it feels more in that realm,
Oh no, I was thinking the
but
one
a
about
little
the
less.
spirit. What is that shit about the blue singer? The blue singer that died.
Soul.
Blues Singer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that one was
made.
good. I've seen that one. That one was
It's
actually good.
directed by the same person, so
Yeah.
it's no surprise there.
I think the only reason I liked Soul is because I like jazz, though. You know, like it was
Right.
something that I'm interested. Again, something I was interested in. So, Inside Out is another one. Like Elemental to me, it's like how much drugs do these people take to like write that shit? You know, it's like
Yeah.
how do you come up with that shit? You know, like
Right.
manifesting emotions or elements as characters. I give them kudos, honestly. I mean, if you guys enjoyed Elemental, at least it worked.
Yeah, but there's like I feel like for me it doesn't. As long as the movie's not bad, I can enjoy it.
Bad though, bad like bad writing, bad cinematography. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like yeah,
For me, not being a super like film buff, you know what I'm saying? Like cinematography, I don't really pay attention as long as I can fucking see everything.
yeah.
That really doesn't catch my eye very much. Poor scripts, bad acting, of course, plot holes. Those things fucking drive me crazy. Because I'm the type of person that, like, between cuts, I notice everything. Like, I was watching something the other day, and like in the one scene, they take this bag of money and they sit it in the street, and the handles fall like this. And then the next time they show the bag, no one's touched it. The handles are now like this. I noticed all that shit, and it drives
Yeah.
me crazy.
Yeah, shit like
Content
that. Yeah,
errors.
yeah. Or when like they're changing between different perspectives of like the same scene, but you can tell that something's different. Like someone's collar has changed or something. You know, visual randomness like that. Yeah.
Glasses have on the front side, the glass is full. When it's from over here, it's like half. It's like, fuck, man, how do y'all not see this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to, you know what I mean? Like they're doing like 500 different takes and stuff. Like it makes sense that like it's not gonna be perfect. It's not never gonna be perfect, but
Right.
like
And
I mean, I still can't get over that Game of Thrones had a fucking coffee cup, and that I still can't get over that. I still can't get over that. Like
That was
how? Like
cool.
one of the biggest shows on the planet, and they fucked that up. Like how? Like
Yeah. Well, it's
crazy.
like I heard this thing that there's a van in Braveheart.
Yeah, there is.
Really?
There is.
Yeah.
What?
And the
I don't
Is it
know.
camera,
the
I
is it the
think, is
Mystery
shown
Machine?
in Gladiator.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking Scooby Doo.
Like those are the type of things that
They
you
could be
would.
on a case. They could be on a case during the. They
Oh,
could be
there
trying to
is.
find. They could be trying to get entertained.
Yeah, there is. Here's a screenshot. Yeah, there's a transit van just here behind all these guys on horses. But yeah,
I think that's
I
the one
know.
thing
But
in animation you're
this
not
type of
gonna
stuff
get.
we can laugh at though.
Yeah,
This type of stuff like it's annoying, but it's like I don't know. It's just funny too at the same time, right? Because I mean, at some point you do have to suspend disbelief a little bit.
right. Like I watched Mother. Y'all seen it's like a Russian movie or something?
What is it? Oh yeah, the it's like John Wick, right? The guy like kills everybody and shit.
Yeah, but is it no? It's Mother's Day, I think. Not Mother. That's J Lo. Mother's Day, I think, is Russian or something. German.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Finnish. I don't know what it is. It's not American. I don't know. But it is kind of John Wickish. Um, but that's one that was like just I can't. It's just not a good movie. Like the
Yeah.
plot is not good. Uh, she is older, but she is
Huh.
believable as like a badass. So I was like, okay, this looks like she can kick ass. But like, I don't know. I don't know. There was just a couple scenes where I was like, audibly, I said, yeah, like such a cringe fucking like, what is this? No, like the kid, she saves her kid, then he gets caught again, and then the spoiler, the bad lady, the mastermind or whatever. I guess she's in the government or something. Her son is like in like one scene, he's playing chess by himself, and she calls him to like go talk to him. He's like, yeah, wait a minute. So they put that part right. This guy likes chess. All right, fine, we get it. I understand the foreshadowing or whatever, or the layering of the character. Fine.
Yeah.
But the lady that saves her son, they never said shit about chess. And then all of a sudden, the two sons are playing chess, and the kidnapped son, who's been kidnapped by the one guy's mom, those two sons they played chess. The kidnapped son, like I wasn't even paying attention really. Either one or he did like a really good something.
Yeah, this is the type of movie that they're gonna have to pay you to suspend your disbelief.
Bro, this shit was so bad. And that became like the deciding factor when the evil politician lady was like, do we kill him or do we let him go? And then her son was like, let him go. Because he got beat by a chick. I was just like, they never said shit about chicks before. Just like, where does this come from? Like,
This is
terrible.
on Netflix, right?
Ridiculous.
I think it is on Netflix.
Okay.
But, I gave it a chance because, what the hell? I don't have shit else to do. I'm working at home.
Yeah.
I just watch
Yeah, I
random
did.
movies.
I did watch the Pope's Exorcist thing based on your suggestion, and I think I
Which one
consumed
was
You
it?
half
did?
of it.
Pope's Exorcist. You watched the
Yeah.
Pope's.
Oh, what
Sorry,
do you think?
Christian, you like, lagged out a little bit.
Yeah, I watched the Pope's Exorcist based
What
on
you think?
Chris' suggestion, and I had to have the assistance of alcohol just to get through it. So thank you, Chris.
Wait, so is it not was it not good or was it not scary for you?
I don't know what happened when it comes.
Because I will say this, as a huge horror movie buff, I love horror. I love writing horror. There is
It's
never ever like a good, unless you're talking about maybe Jordan Peele movies. There's never really a good horror movie, right? It's hard to make like a good horror movie.
Right.
it's not
That's
even
why
I
some of
think
the
about.
best horror
It's
movies
not
are
even I think
like
about the movie
psychological
anymore.
thrillers.
It's not even I think about the movie anymore, Ryan. I think it's what happens to me when it comes to Russell Crowe movies that I can't actually take him really seriously anymore.
Yeah,
That
I feel
happens.
that.
Man. That happens
I
so
feel that.
much.
I
Like
feel
I
that. It's like
feel like
The Liam Neeson effect. Who
Yeah.
else? Who is Steven Seagal effect,
Oh God.
right?
You're
Yeah, like
correct.
we can go down the list. There's a ton of actors that like you can just like not take seriously. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you with that.
Yeah.
and after what was the last movie? Thor Love and Thunder. Like after
Then he
that
was like
shit,
Zeus. He was like a
then
goofy
watch this
Zeus.
one. Like no,
Yeah. Well, did you
I
like him in
can't,
Thor: Love and Thunder?
definitely not.
Okay. All right. All right.
Like the Russell Crowe I want to see. Remember the South Park parody of him? Like Russell Crowe
No.
fighting across the world. Like all he does
No.
in his TV show was actually punch people everywhere in the world.
No, I
Uh-uh.
don't think of them.
Like that's the Russell Crowe I want back. The badass one, not this one.
So
He needs
Gladiator,
to
Russell
drink
Crowe.
again.
You don't like Dad Bod, Russell?
I do like Russell Crowe from Body of Lies.
Oh, that is a good movie. I read that book. Highly recommend that book. Good book.
Yeah, I liked him in that.
The CIA is just like, dude,
Yeah.
fucked up. And he like plays a like fucked up CIA agent quite well. Just wears the sandals, right? It's like, is that the
Yeah.
movie I'm thinking of? Where he's like
Yeah.
just always rocking sandals? Oh my god, dude, so good.
Giving Leo shit like while
Yeah.
you're over there eating couscous.
Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He
I
flipped
think
him
this
over
all
Ah,
there.
yeah, this all started for me. I think with Les Miserables.
never saw it.
The
When it comes
musical.
to Russell, yeah, when it comes to Russell Crowe, I can't actually take him seriously after watching that. After doing the musical, because he hasn't been in any good shit after it. I don't know if I'm watching enough movies to actually know it, but based on
Mhm.
just my viewing habits, I haven't seen in that good movies.
I mean, he was great in Man of Steel too.
That's just a
I loved
stint.
him as man. What's
Jor-El.
Superman? God damn it! He's great as Superman's like father, like
Yeah,
Earth
Jor-El, but
father.
that's just
I can't think of his
he's
name.
basically
It's
just
like some
stealing.
weird shit.
Uh,
Cocan or something like that. I don't know what the fuck it is. K-Pax.
Apex. Wasn't that
The
Kevin
fuck's his
Spacey?
name? Superman.
Superman's dad.
No, not Jor-El.
Jor-El.
That's what he played. Jor-El. Yeah, he killed it as Jor-El. Kind of wish they brought him back for the Flash. Might have been a better movie.
I was just thinking about the Flash.
Did
Yeah, I thought
you
he
see
had a
it?
cameo there.
It's so new that it stays on like my fucking screen as soon as I log into to Max or whatever.
That's Barbie for me.
Yeah, yeah, I don't have. Yeah,
I get advertisements to watch Barbie all the time. Like, no, I'm not fucking watching that. I'm a self-respecting 29-year-old not watching Barbie.
You haven't.
what is another? I liked him in okay because I'm going through these now. I did like him in the Robin Hood, not the latest Robin Hood.
The last
Didn't see
movie I
it.
think I liked him in was actually The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling.
That one I
Fell
haven't.
asleep watching that.
Yeah,
I think that's the last one that I liked his
I don't think
role
it
in.
was really about the movie, but
It's
you
not
know when
about
you
the movie,
fall
it's his
asleep to a
character.
movie, even if you're just tired or whatever, and like you just can't kind of watch it ever again. Does that ever happen? Tyler, ever you?
yeah, kind of like yeah.
It's like
Take
it's nice, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've tried watching it again, but
it removes the kind of removes like the mystery or whatever. It's like fuck this. Oh, this is- yeah, I don't want to
I think for
start
that
from
one, Yeah, for that one, it's not even about the movie for me. It's about his character and how he carries himself in it. Like if you compare his character in The Nice Guys with what he's been doing recently, everything is shit. He's
Yeah.
basically just playing a parody of himself.
I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm looking at his movies in order, and once he got on Gladiator, um, Proof of Life, I have not seen.
Oh, that is a good movie with he has to like save some woman.
Meg
Proof
Ryan,
of Life. That's like
Meg
an
Ryan.
old one. That's
Yeah.
old.
Beautiful
But that's
Mind.
pretty good. It's weird. It's not like you know what I mean. It's like it's good, but it's
Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
know.
a movie that I went to in the theaters. Right, I went to see this movie in the theaters because it was him, and because I was like, "Oh, naval warfare! This shit's gonna be
Please
great."
tell
Oh
me Master
yeah,
and Commander. Please tell me.
Dude, I was so pissed. I was like, "This fucking sucks."
it's I see. It's funny you say that because that movie's boring as fuck, but I fucking love that movie. I don't know why I love it. It's just so epic, but it's boring. It's
Well,
boring. Like if you're
maybe
into that shit,
I mean,
like if you
I
like
went.
history and shit like that, you know.
Yeah, I do, but I think it's probably because I was, at the movies with like,
Oh, for sure, yeah,
you know what
for
I'm
sure,
saying? Like,
yeah. Pretty sure I saw that in movie theater too, honestly.
when did this shit come
But it's
out?
like a 3 or 4 hour long epic of just like naval fucking
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
You go into it expecting like kind of like a different take of like Pirates of the Caribbean with fucking Russell Crowe. It's not really what you get.
not yeah. And then,
And it was the same time back when Pirates of the Caribbean actually
It
was
was big.
blowing up, right?
yeah,
Master and
Yeah.
Commander.
Yeah.
Such a long ass title, right?
and yet
Master and Commander.
he kind of
I
fell off,
mean,
man.
better than I reincarnated it as a slime or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. That's the full
Yeah,
title. No.
but I'll tell you, a movie that I don't know how much. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Oh, it's on Netflix. Uh, is this the one? War Machine.
That
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
it's like where like the tanks are rolling through cities with like advertisements on them. Yeah, and I think it's there's a is it who plays the pop star? Is it Lindsay Lohan or maybe who plays the pop star?
Pop
Uh,
star?
yeah, they're having like they're getting like this yeah, this movie's insane. It's a war comedy.
What?
No, it's not War Machine. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. That's a different movie. The one I'm thinking of is War Inc. and that's John Cusack. War Inc. is fucking crazy. But War Machine is an American satirical war comedy film written and directed by David Machode and stars Brad Pitt.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
But old Russell is in it?
Apparently he's in it. He popped up on his shit. Brad Pitt, Anthony Michael Hall, Anthony Hayes, Topher Grace, Will Poulter.
Topher Grace is in this?
Yeah, Ben Kingsley's in it.
I mean, I'm never gonna watch it. Probably not ever gonna
Says
watch
it's on
it.
Netflix.
I think I watched this. I just can't remember.
It had a $60 million budget, but it don't say how much it made.
Probably not that much.
Probably
War
not.
Inc.
Yeah.
Oh,
The budget is 10 million.
War
uh,
Inc. War Inc. was fucking. That's a trippy ass movie. It's kind of
War
like
Inc.
yeah. But yeah, well, I think that's about it for this episode, fellas.
Wait, before you close out, I wanted to add that there's a documentary series I watched on Netflix recently. Well, literally the other night. Spy Ops. I had to look it up. Spy Ops.
Me too,
Highly
bro.
recommend it. If what?
Me too. I watched that shit too. I forgot.
Yeah, highly recommend that. It's pretty good. I only watched the one about the rogue Russian agent. And it's kind of crazy, kind of nuts. But yeah, if you like history and like documentaries, highly recommend Spy Ops. You're not gonna like probably every episode, but it's nice because you can kind of jump.
Right.
Like you don't have to watch it in order or anything. So it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Spy Ops. I was pleasantly surprised. Like I was supposed. That was one that, like I said, I know I've said this 100 times, but like I turn these fucking things on, and then I'm like, I'm working, right, doing other
Well, you
things.
never know what you, especially with documentaries on fucking Netflix. You don't know what you're gonna get. But no, as well, well researched. I think, and that's like the most important part. I think is well researched, and they have some of the people they bring on to ask the questions and shit or answer the questions. There's, they're good. It's good, good.
Very, very legit people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hardcore.
Hardcore motherfucker. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's see. There's one more I want to recommend. I think me and Christian might have already talked about this. I don't know. But Age of Samurai: The Battle for Japan is
Yeah.
one of my favorite things I've ever watched.
Okay.
Because it's
This is
like
a documentary.
it's hybrid.
Okay.
It's
I never
like,
liked those, but
this is good. Like I mean, the parts that they play, right? Like the story needs to be told kind of in a way that is very visual.
narrated
It's
to a degree, like exposition dump to a
yeah,
degree.
it's narrated slash acted.
Yeah.
It's good, man. I like it. And it's a true story. Like I've talked to, people about it, and they're like, oh yeah, Nobunaga, he's a famous, uh samurai.
Ronin?
Yeah. Oda, I think. Oda Nobunaga. What's his name? Nobunaga. Oda, yeah, Oda Nobunaga was a Japanese daimyo and one of the leading figures of the Sengoku.
Yep. Daimyo.
He was regarded as the first great unifier, and that's what the whole thing's about.
Okay.
Different clans all through Japan, and he wanted to make one entire Japan. It's pretty fucking good for people that like historical. It's like Gladiator meets. Wow, that's a good way to describe this thing. It's like a documentary slash
It
Gladiator.
reminded me a lot of at least from the outset, like those war ones that are on HBO that are really good, like the Pacific one and that are acted but also have like that exposition stuff.
Yeah, there's some You got a recommendation, Christian?
Yeah, for
What have
those that are actually into Japanese culture, particularly Japanese pro wrestling. And if you're into drama and comedy, I would suggest Story of My Family on Netflix with 3 exclamation marks at the end for easy searching. So you did suggest Chris
Me
the
and Ryan
last
both went into search mode on that.
Sanctuary, right? The sumo wrestler one.
What's it called?
Story of My Family with 3 exclamation marks at the end. Because sometimes if you search for it, it doesn't actually show up without it.
Really?
So it's a Japanese slash drama slash comedy. It's actually pretty good.
How do you say it? Ore no le no hasan hanashi? Hanashi? Ore no le no hanashi. That's how you say it in Japan, I think.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. When a washed-up pro wrestler, Juichi, learns that his father is in critical condition, he rushes to the hospital where he has an awkward family reunion. I might watch this tonight. How many episodes is this?
It's actually pretty good. Like
10 hours? How many hours?
I hate to be that guy, but this is definitely not for me.
Really?
I mean, I'm not a big wrestler. Like, I don't like wrestling and stuff like that. And I'm not a big like. I like sci-fi, man. I like horror. I like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like if it's like real world events and stuff. It's just like hard for me to really get into it.
This is a comedy.
Yeah, it is. Like,
and I'm not a big comedy guy. I don't like comedy movies personally.
It's heartfelt, emotional, drama, comedy.
The exact opposite of my taste.
Yeah.
Heartfelt.
Well, all right. There we go. That's
big,
3 good.
It's like out of nowhere. How many seasons are there? This? No, just one.
Just one. Japanese dramas are usually just one season. Like it's just a quick story. Well, it's
Like
actually
that
pretty
crazy,
good.
like the crazy ass movie I watched when I was living in Korea called like My Wife is a Gangster or something.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
are a lot of parts to that film.
yeah. There's a lot of those. Yeah, I watched the first one. I was like, this shit's crazy. Like he's
Like,
Korean. I think his wife is Japanese,
this
and
is
she's like part of
what
the Yakuza
what
or
you're
something.
saying is like it's a real it's a fictional or it's like a
Fictional, yeah.
oh,
Fictional,
okay.
but I think every Asian country has their version of this film.
Mm.
Yeah.
Again, the same story told 100 times.
Well, immediately
With
when you
different
said that,
culture.
it reminded me of that. Like, there's some show that they had on, I don't know, A&E or something like that about the wives of like mobsters. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Growing up Gotti. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. John Gotti. It was a
Ugh.
reality show about John Gotti's family.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What we got to do is a segment one time in the future. We got to do like a guilty pleasure, like a shitty show or movie that you fuck with, but like it's just not good or not like maybe not good, but you know what I mean. Like
That's a good one. Because do I have one of those?
We're
Like
gonna have to disqualify the famous ones like Samurai Cop and The Room, right? For this one.
I haven't heard of any of those.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
really
but
kind of just up to you. Like my guilty pleasure would probably be Event Horizon would be one of them. Event Horizon's such a shitty movie, but it's like I love that movie. It's so bad. It's so bad. Or like I used to love back in the day watching Real Housewives of like Orange County and shit. I know.
Yeah.
It's just like really just to like be like, wow, thankfully I am not like in that realm. thank,
Yeah.
thank God I'm not that stupid or whatever.
Right. Okay, yeah. Then
and I wasn't expecting that from you.
Yeah, I know. No, I did it. Well, yeah.
do talk about I like sci-fi, I like horrors, I like Real Housewives. Like, wait.
Wait, what?
What was the last
Who's cruising a lie? What the fuck's going on?
Or any of those, like what's another one? This shitty like daytime dramas, or not drama,
I
like
used to watch
fucking
shit
Jersey
like
Shore, even. Like I used to watch Jersey Shore back in the day.
I used to watch
Garbage.
shit like did you ever watch like Eliminate or The Fifth Wheel?
What is that?
Like Eliminate? Like those cringy ass dating shows?
Uh-uh. No.
Yeah, okay. Those were
No, I
really
know there's a big one going on right now, right? Or was.
what's that?
What's the one that was going on Netflix? There's a big one. Everyone's like every
Oh,
week
the
they're talking.
fucking the ultimatum.
Maybe.
I watched the
Maybe.
first season. That's another one. I did not finish it. I didn't care. Like it got so bad. Like I watched a lot of it. I watched because they make like this is a whole different episode. Yeah, it's a whole different episode. But they make
And I just will have to watch out for a new segment called Guilty Pleasures. Yeah.
sure.
Well, let's
Yeah.
just hope it's not gonna be flagged because of the title. So
Okay. On that note, I have something that is crazy, and this I watch. I don't know if you guys watch your Mom's House podcast with Tom Segura and his wife.
yeah.
No.
I'll
Uh,
watch it.
you got to check this shit
Mhm.
out, Ryan. This shit funny as hell. But they found this. I don't know if he's Cambodian. I don't know what he is, but the dude does asshole waxing. He's a twink
Oh, okay. Okay.
on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
seen this?
No, I prefer not to, but
Right,
hey,
I
right.
haven't seen it.
But I mean, he shows. But I mean, it's straight up butthole on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, like
Yeah, I mean, well, there's age, you can set stuff like obviously like in the YouTube, you know what I mean? Like you can set stuff like age restrictions and stuff. Like it makes
You have
sense
to
and
be.
some people like watching that, I guess, like it goes to like people like watching Pop and Pimples, like
that I hate that so much.
I know.
That
Yeah.
is by
Same.
far the worst thing.
I don't get it. I just truly don't understand. I would like want to open someone's mind who likes it and like see why. Like why.
Yeah.
It's like some cathartic release type thing.
I really don't. I get these things like sometimes on TikTok. Like I'll be scrolling TikTok and they'll be like just a random fucking. It's like, dude, stop doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird.
I honestly, yeah. I closed the app. It's like, oh, fuck this shit, man. But yeah, all right. So we got some recs. Some of our feedback you guys throw down there in the comments. You know what you think. Agree, disagree. Recommendations too. If there's something obscure that you think we may be into, then yeah, drop it in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next one.